The San Francisco 49ers season is officially on the line. Either they win and advance or lose and start getting ready for draft season. It all comes down to 49ers versus Rams Thursday night football. Prime time, whole world will be watching to see, will the 49ers step up to the challenge or will they fall right on their face? Oh boy. And we got some injury updates. We got guys who are potentially going to be playing for this game. We got a surprise out, actually. I was kind of shocked to see that. So we'll talk about that and everything else in between. You guys already know what to do. Drop an SDS in the chat. Smash that like button. Let's talk about it all right now. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. Well. A big game for the San Francisco 49ers looms. Thursday night football, divisional opponent. Los Angeles Rams come in here looking to play spoiler. And boy, how the tables have turned since week 3, where it seemed like the Rams were kind of on the lower tier of the NFC West division. And as we head into this one, they are toward the top, and the San Francisco 49ers are at the bottom. The entire season comes down to this. It's pretty simple. We already know that internally they are talking about these games as playoff games, and the big thing with playoff games is that they're elimination games. So the message internally has been the San Francisco 49ers are facing elimination, their season on the line tomorrow night. So this one's got a lot of different emotions going for me because uh the Rams feel beatable, but that requires the 49ers to play football, meaning not beat themselves. Go out there and put a 60-minute wall-to-wall performance, offense, defense, special teams, complementary football. We got that for the first time this season, and it came in week 14. It took 14 weeks for the 49ers to play 60 minutes of football. And the hope is that they can continue that track and continue executing, continue playing at a high level, continue coaching at a high level, and all those different types of things. But let's talk about who's going to be available and who's not going to be available. And let's start with who is going to miss this one. Oh, the rain. I didn't even think about that. Let me look at my weather app real quick. There were concerns that it was going to potentially rain today, but it at least didn't rain where I was at. Let's see, is it going to rain in Santa Clara? Let me double check. What is the forecast? Come on now. All right, Santa Clara. I didn't see that. So according to my weather app, it's saying 75% chance of rain tomorrow. And it's going to start raining tonight at around midnight. And it shows that it's going to rain all the way through until about 7 a.m. Then it shows the rain picking up and then starting again at 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and 4 p.m. Ooh, I didn't see that. So it might be clearing up right around the start of the game, but might be a little soggy. Oh, that adds another layer of anxiety to this one. So, um, yeah, we might get some rain tomorrow, little sprinkles, a little wet ball action. So that's another element of drama. I mean, it only makes sense. It's an elimination game. The 49ers need to win this game in order to go on. Why would it be good conditions? Of course it would rain. Of course it would. So, hey, no excuses. They're going to both be playing on that same field. It is what it is. No excuses. Got to go out and win the football game. So, that's crazy. I didn't even think about that. So, potential rain game tomorrow. Maybe a little wet, a little soggy. We'll have to see how it continues to play out. But a bit of a surprise today. We found out that Malik Mustafa is out in this game. So Malik has played well. I mean, he's clearly a starter. When Talanoa Hufanga came back, he's a starter. So he has earned the starting role over Jair Brown, over George Odom, over even Deshaun Gibson. So and he's played well. Malik has just really, for being a fourth round draft pick and a guy that I think we like once we, I wasn't super familiar with him before the draft, but once we got into the tape, you're like, yeah, you could see why the 49ers liked him. And then all throughout OTAs, training camp, preseason, you could just see this guy flashing and flashing and flashing, and to the point where he finally made his way into the starting lineup. So he's played well. Him and Huff played well together. So it will be likely Talanoa Hufanga and Jair Brown out there as your starting pair of safeties. I'm less concerned. I think Jair Brown has struggled this year, but I do think that it will be helpful to have Talanoa back there because Talanoa can do all the processing. He can do all the thinking. He can do all the directing of traffic, and Jair just has to worry about playing his position. And, I'm halfway of the belief that maybe Jair Brown was trying to take on that veteran role that Talanoa Hufanga had, and maybe there's just too much going on, and he wasn't playing as good as a result. So I do think that maybe kind of having Jair kind of take a side seat to Talanoa could potentially help him. So we'll see how that goes. But it will be Jair and sounds like Talanoa out there. Unfortunately for Trent Williams, he won't be able to go for this one. Was hoping maybe that he could potentially play in this one, but Trent, he could take all the time that he wants, and stuff like that. So no Trent today, but Aaron Banks will return to left guard, and you will have Jalen Moore at left tackle. So we'll see how that goes. And then some good news. I determine this good news. I think that all three of these players that you see pictured on the screen are going to play. I think Bosa plays. I think Arendo plays. I think Greenlaw plays. So, yes, Malik Mustafa won't be out there, but you get Huff back, you get Dre Greenlaw back, and Nick Bosa back. And the boys were kind of on fire last week. I'm excited to see how that looks. I am. I'm really excited to see if this defense kind of takes it up a notch. And I was really impressed with their performance against the Bears. And I'm excited to see what they look like with Nick Bosa and Dre Greenlaw back into the mix. Also, being able to have Isaac Garendo, what I do believe he'll be starting again, and I think he'll be good to go. So that will be nice to have. So we got some reinforcements back. We're getting a little healthier as it goes on. So, the 49ers have had to overcome a lot this season. And hey, for everything to be on the line, to be able to get Bosa back, make sure Garendo's okay and good to go, and then have Dre Greenlaw available. All right, let's rock and roll. So, what's going to be fascinating about this particular game is the outcome, honestly. I don't know about you guys, but I got some of those pre-game butterflies. And honestly, I don't get those before regular season games. Regular season games are what they are. Some matchups might make me a little nervous, a little anxious. This one, I'm a little nervous, a little anxious, just because of what's at stake. The fact that if they don't win this one, the season is pretty much wrapped. It's pretty much put a fork in them. Or if they win this, you talk about a momentum swing. You talk about, you know, a belief and a fight that, okay, we're still in this. We still have a shot. That's crazy because I know after both the Green Bay Packers loss and Bills loss, it was I felt like we were done. I felt like it was over. And then once the dust settled and we kind of see how everything played out, you could see that there was still a path. And so thankfully, the 49ers still have two division opponents on their remaining schedule so that they can try to get those wins against the Rams and at the end of the year with the Cardinals. But with what are they at right now? Are they 6-7? What's their record right now? I should probably know this as a 49ers content creator. They're 6-7. So I feel like they need to get 10 wins. There's potentially a world that exists where they could sneak into the playoffs with 9 wins, beating the Rams, beating the Cardinals. Let's say you beat the Dolphins and lose to the Lions. There's still a chance you can sneak in at 9-8, but it feels like a lot of things will have to go their way in order for that to happen. So ideally, the 49ers win out. It's going to be a challenge. Won't be easy. And there's going to be a lot of stressful nights coming down the pipe. But hey, if they can take care of business and they can come out here with some wins, especially against the Rams, they are going to have some energy. And one of the cool things about, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow night. So if they go out here and they beat the Rams, they get a mini bye week, right? Because it's a Thursday night football. They'll get a couple days off to kind of get healthier. And then it's all right, we get a mini bye. And then we got 3 games to determine if we are going to get into the dance. So that could be huge. And like I said earlier, I think earlier in the week, I'm actually glad that they're playing the Rams on a short week. I'm glad that, the Rams went in, got a big emotional win against the Bills. The 49ers got back on track against the Bears, and they don't have time to sit here and think about it. They just got to go. They got to prepare. They got to get ready. Everything's condensed into a short week, and then boom, they're back on the field again playing the Rams. So I'm glad that it's a short week. I think the short turn actually just helps kind of with the focus because you have to be focused. You can't You can't let anything slide. You got to cram. It's like studying for like a midterm or something, but you only have so much time to prepare for it. And so you're just so focused on like the next steps. We think of NFL players and them being so like only thinking one step ahead. Well, when you cram everything into a short week, it forces you to only think one step ahead. You have to think about all the things that you have to get prepared and ready to go. I'm glad that they don't have to travel on the short week. The Rams are the ones who are going to have to travel on the short week. Granted, it's not like they have to travel very far, but they still have to do that. They still got to get on a plane and fly up and do all that good stuff. Where the 49ers will be playing at home. And listen, Levi Stadium, you know, I was pleasantly surprised with the environment at Levi's last week against the Bears because again, a lot of people have chalked this season up to being over. And you would also kind of assume that the attendance at Levi's would match against a game against the Bears. It's not like a marquee matchup or anything like that. 49er fans showed out. Full stadium, absolutely full. There are a lot of Bears fans there. Credit to the Bears, they travel well. There's definitely a good amount of them, but it was packed. It was a packed house. So I imagine we know there are barely any Rams fans, so they aren't going to be taking over Levi's Stadium. It's just not going to happen. So it's going to probably be like 96% 49ers fans in that stadium. And I expect it to get loud. I expect the fan base to carry that same playoff energy. I think that a lot of the energy of this season is going to be channeled into this game from a fan perspective because if you think about it, we haven't had a lot to cheer about. You look at some of the games that they've lost at home, just brutal. And the last game they played at home was against the Seahawks and gave up that final drive at the end of the game. There's a lot of pent up kind of energy surrounding fans and this season. And I think all the fans understand what's on the line. I think everyone recognizes that this is the season against the Rams coming. They got to win this. If they don't win this, it's over. So I think not only the players want, like clearly the players feel that, but I think that the fans will channel that energy and just really kind of get that. Like I'm telling you, man, like I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. When Levi's is in a playoff environment, it's a hard place to play, man. Like it gets loud. Your fans get crazy. I'll never forget when the 49ers were playing the Green Bay Packers in the divisional round playoff, and it was Jordan Love trying to, put together a game-winning drive in the 49ers after they had just um, Brock Purdy just led that game leading score. Um, Levi's was shaking. The ground under my feet was shaking. And when Dre Greenlaw got that interception to seal the game, it was pandemonium. Like Levi's knows how to get down when it matters. So that's what I'm expecting tomorrow night. I'm expecting playoff energy, playoff vibes for a week 15 game against the Rams. So if you're going to that game, you better be loud. normally I'm pretty quiet because like I film everything, but you might hear me screaming in my videos just straight into the camera. Ah! Like you got to be loud on this one. We got to make Stafford uncomfortable and got to get Stafford off his spot. That's the number one thing. We got to make him uncomfortable. We can't We got to take away his first read. We got to get to him. We got to get pressure up the middle. We got to get stunts going. We got to get Bosa screaming around the edge. We have got to collapse the pocket on Matthew Stafford. We have to make him feel like he normally feels when he plays against the 49ers. We got to make him uncomfortable. And part of that is the noise. Part of that is being loud. So I'm looking forward to it, man. Um, I'm. This is going to be a pretty crazy environment, you know. So, woo, I'm hyped. It's gonna rain. It's gonna be a wet one, but hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Uh, the rain probably levels the playing field a little bit. I don't think of Stafford as being like some great, weather proven type of quarterback. He's a guy who when he was, in Detroit played in a dome. Um, I don't look at Stafford as a guy who's just like, you know, just gonna cut through the rain, even though he has a fantastic arm. He has a cannon, for sure. Yeah, it's hard to discredit his arm. He has a really good arm, for sure. So I'm excited about this one. Um, let's see. Let's do a sleep. Let's do a sleeper pick. Um, I felt good about last week with Jawan and Kittle. I absolutely fell flat on my face with Cole Kmet. I wish last week I could have just picked all 49ers, because when you do the sleeper picks, you kind of have to pick both. You have to pick one, at least one from the other side. So Kittle went crazy, Jawan went crazy, but Cole Kmet, I don't know. I thought he was going to get the ball. He almost had a touchdown, but he dropped it. First one is Puka over on receiving yards. Puka's 88 yards. Puka going for 88. I mean, Puka's been going crazy, actually. Dang. 14 receptions last week, 8 receptions the week before, 13 receptions. Or no, those are targets, excuse me. 13 targets before that, 9 targets. And then he had 12 receptions last week, 5 receptions, then 9, then 7, then 9. And he's put up over 100 yards in the last 3 out of the 4 times. Puka over. I mean, according to his numbers, that's not too high. He put up 162 yards last week. You got him 66 yards on Prize Picks. Sheesh. I think we waited too long. Dang. And his over under receptions is 77.5. Let's see. Let's see. I feel like Kittle would be a good bet for reception yards. Well, wait a second. If we think it's gonna, but not if we think there's a big potential that it's going to rain. So let's keep that in mind. Where's Garendo? Should we do a Garendo anytime touchdown? That's the only option that we have. We could do Garendo anytime touchdown. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, they're all kind of high for this one. So I mean, 58.5 for Kittle doesn't seem too high. So I'm gonna go over on Kittle. Let's do a Garendo anytime touchdown. And what about Cooper Cup? Do we do Cooper Cup receptions? Set at 5.5. It seems like he's going to be targeted, but I also saw someone say Stafford interception. He hasn't thrown a pick in the last 4 weeks. Wow. Stafford is pickless in the last 4 weeks. So I don't know how I feel about that. That's crazy. So if the 49ers can force an interception on Stafford, that would help them tremendously. I think I'm gonna go Kyron Williams anytime touchdown. I I'm not gonna lie. I own a lot of Kyron Williams in Dynasty, so I kind of like that. I'm gonna go Kyron anytime. So we'll see how that works out. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can get it done. All right, I'll throw up the picks here in a second. So if you guys want to copy them, you can as well. I'm not going to be crying if we shut them out. That's a win to me. if we don't if we don't get a Kyron Williams touchdown, I will sacrifice my sleeper picks for that any day of the week. So here are the picks. If you guys want to get in on the action, you haven't played yet, use my promo code SF Niners when you sign up. You can get up to a $1,500 deposit match, or whatever you deposit, they will match you up to 1,500 right into your wallet. Um, it's fun to play, and you don't have to go crazy. I only did $10 on this ticket, so nothing crazy. What's good, Justin? Justin, activate your Twitter. We got prospects to talk about, pal. I was like, where? It's like, where's Justin? I was like, I swear I haven't seen him on Twitter. I went looking for you, pal, and I saw that your Twitter is deactivated. Hopefully everything's good, first of all. Second of all, it's draft season, pal. Almost draft season. Almost. I actually posted my first draft prospect today. Um, oh, my God. I gotta show you. I gotta show you. He like I came across him. I came across Mike Green probably about, I don't know, was it 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and instantly was like, is that Brian Burns? I saw instant flashes of Brian Burns, and I said, that's my guy. So I'm gonna show you my guy. So it's not draft season. I've been trying my hardest to like not post any prospects because it's just not time yet, but he's getting a lot of hype. Like he's really starting to pick up. So I'm like, all right, I gotta drop it. It's he's getting too spicy. Oh, look at that. Bro, gives me watch the spin. Oh, oh, that's Ohio State. Oh yeah, this is my guy. Look at him. Look at him. Pure twitch, pure speed. Oh, j- just I can't wait to get my hopes up and get real excited about him just for the 49ers to not draft him. I can't wait for that moment. But I project him to kind of go uh in the Brian Burns slot, round pick 15, round pick 16. So that's kind of where I expect him to go. He's 6'4, 250 pounds. So with Brian Burns, BB, when we started the draft process, he was 6'5, about 225. And the big thing for him was to getting to 250. And that was his whole goal, get to 250 pounds by the combine. And so he did it. And that really helped rise his draft stock because he was looked at as like a pure pass rusher like this. And so with Mike Green, he's 6'4, 248. So he's already a little bigger than Brian Burns from a frame perspective. Uh, so the big thing that I'm looking for, and I'm going to be looking for from him at the Senior Bowl, is can he play in the wide nine? Can he put his hand in the dirt, and can he get after the passer from that perspective? Because he's a natural pass rusher. Like instantly, just you see the bend, you see the moves. He has an entire bag of pass rushing moves. He's got the chop. He's got the counter spins. He's got everything from a pass rushing perspective, and you see the speed, you see the twitch, and I think the size is there. And so, if you his story's not written yet, he had I think 17 sacks this season, so he's a menace. He's an absolute menace. But yeah, this is I saw him and I was like flashback to Brian Burns. Like that's instantly what I saw. Like some of these moves, the way he gets around the corner, um, and that bend to be able to dip under the offensive lineman and get around the corner, like. And again, they all told me Brian Burns was too small. So just FYI, they all told me Brian Burns was too small. Oh, Brian Burns is too small. He'll never make it in the NFL. He's too small. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's too small. Pro tip when talking to me about prospects, I do not care about their measurables as long as they can play football. Now, I need to be better at it, I think. I think sometimes it can get me in trouble because I'm a big believer in you can either play or you can't. And measurables can absolutely um you know translate to the next level, of course. But I'm also someone who I will look past some measurable deficiencies as long as you can play. So just saying, just saying. So, oh, and my guy out of Oregon is also highly touted, that I told you about last year, Justin. It was Birch, right? I don't have his name in front of me, so it's yeah, Jordan Birch. I was doing tape study on, I think it was Dolores, the guy that we were like linked to, and it was Jordan Birch. So I was like, who's that? I want Jordan Birch. I don't want this Dolores guy. I want Jordan Birch. And he's rising up the ranks from what I've seen as well. He was a Senior Bowl All-American by their standards. So he's a guy that I'm definitely going to be circling back to throughout this draft process. So I'm excited for the draft, but I'm not ready yet. Like I got prospects in the holster right now. Like the Wild Wild West. I could drop probably 10 prospects on you that I want the 49ers to draft, but I'm waiting as much as I can. With Mike, the hype was reaching he's going to be a first round prospect when it's all said and done. So it for me it was like, all right, I just got to get it out there, because by the time, if I wait another 4 weeks, everyone's going to know who Mike Green is. So um it is what it is. Have you done a traits pool on Ashton Gentry? I mean, I've watched him. Who who does he he's dude, I don't even know how to explain it. He's like a yeah, I don't got a comp for him yet. Um, but all I know is he's freaking good. Probably should be the Heisman winner this year. And then it's and then the poor man Gentry is Scattaboo. Um, if we don't get Gentry, what about Scattaboo to potentially be a guy in waiting? Now he might be drafted maybe second, third round. But Scattaboo is he reminds me of like James Conner, just like a big back but moves well. So uh Scattaboo is, I mean, he's close to being a household name. If Arizona State goes far in the college playoff, then he might be, everyone might know who he is. Um, but yeah, he's a dog. Dude, this guy is obsessed with me shaving my head and my beard. I think once a stream he tells me to shave my head or beard. Oh man. Can I make a pick with Debo? You know what? I'm kind of mad at Debo right now. I'm not gonna lie. Debo kind of pissed me off this week, and I don't know if that's ever happened, but I did not like what Debo did this week. So I'm hopeful that Debo. I'm not gonna pick him. I'm not gonna predict anything of what Debo's gonna do, but I hope Debo comes out and has a Debo game, because he created a lot of drama for no reason, and I just felt like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Why are we Twitter fingering it? What are we doing? So I just want I just want to see him go out and play well. I'm less concerned about him going out and, whatever, any predictions or anything like that. I hope he has I hope he goes nuclear and just kind of shuts everyone up. I hope he backs that. I'm hoping he backs up the Twitter fingers. That's what I'm hopeful of. Because I didn't like any of that. I didn't like the tweet, and then I didn't like the response. I didn't like any of it. Um, so the best way to remedy that, go out, ball out, have a game, go out, go crazy, shut everyone up, be like, see, this is what happens when I get the ball more. so, so yeah, I wasn't a big fan of what went down this week, but if he can go out and have a good game, then phenomenal. Water under the bridge. So, um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Explain to us why players create drama. For me, like, I think Debo's just going through it. I think Debo is, it's not been a good year. He, I mean, I've told you guys this many times. I watch Debo Samuel every pregame, at whatever game I go to, and I can typically tell what kind of game he's gonna have based on his pregame energy. He's just a very energy driven kind of guy, and he was super lethargic during the pregame, and I was just like, I was like, I don't think he's gonna have a good game, and he didn't. He didn't have a good game. Um, there are times when he comes out, you can tell the intensity is through the roof. He's going crazy. Like you can see the energy, and then he goes out and the energy matches. The game performance matches. So I've been doing it for so many years that I've been able to kind of identify his pregame energy and associating it to what kind of game he's going to have. So again, like last week, I was like, "Man, he looks lethargic," and he kind of had a lethargic type game. So I'm going to be looking for, Debo, is what does your energy look like pregame? Are you the Energizer Bunny? Are you hopping around, jumping around, looking sharp, looking active, or are you just kind of going through the motions? Last week looked like he was going through the motions, and it's kind of how what followed suit. So we'll see. We'll see. But he's capable and we need him. So hopefully we get the Debo that we've come to know and expect um this week against the Rams. He typically plays well against the Rams, but ultimately I think he's pressing. I think he's putting a lot of pressure on himself. And that can manifest itself in a bunch of different ways. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But hopefully Debo Samuel comes out, has a game because Debo normally plays well against the Rams. Bosa, I think, is playing. He's officially questionable. Trent is ruled out. But I do think uh Bosa will play in this one. Did you get on Brock Purdy when he had horrible games? Yeah, I think I said week 7 versus the Chiefs was the worst game I'd ever seen Brock Purdy play. But then I also said I think that it was that week 6 game against the Seahawks was one of the best games that I've ever seen Brock Purdy play. And I've talked about my assessment of Brock throughout this year of saying both things. I've seen Brock play at his highest level that I've ever seen him play throughout his career. And I've also seen him play at his lowest level this year. So the fact that Brock came out, um, the Ravens to me wasn't the worst because the Ravens was more fluky. Like like you get in a corner blitz and get to like there were some fluky things that went on against the Ravens, and that the whole energy behind that is just it was a little fluky, right? You had like it just was fluky to me. Whereas the game against the Chiefs, he did not look comfortable from start to finish. He looked out of sorts from start to finish against the Chiefs to the point where I never seen him play like that. Um, so I don't think it was a good game against the Ravens by any stretch of the imagination, but I could see, there were some silver linings there. There weren't any silver linings against the Chiefs. It was not ideal. Um, so that's how our season has gone. We've looked good in moments and we've looked awful in others. And I think that's why this season has been a frustrating season, is because whether it's self-inflicted wounds, not showing up, injuries, tragedy, there's just been so many different elements to why the 49ers are currently sitting at 6-7. It's really hard to place it on one thing. That's why, to me, the whole like fire Kyle Shanahan thing has become ludicrous, is because it's not one thing. It's not just Kyle. Like, I don't think this has been Kyle's best year. However, I do think that game against the Bears, one of Kyle's better games as a play caller. It hasn't been all just Kyle. It's been everything. Like, it's and things that are outside of Kyle's control, right? That's the number one thing. It's like I have a hard time blaming someone for something outside of their control. It might have happened under their watch, but if they don't have any control over that, then how was that automatically their fault? And they deserve to be fired for that. So the fire thing, stupid, and the trade thing became hilariously stupid because the trade thing requires Kyle to sign off on it. So that's the even funnier thing with the like, oh well, fine, we're not gonna fire Kyle, we're gonna trade him. Well, that requires Kyle to say yes to the trade. Stupid. And Kyle's like, I'm not going anywhere. Are you kidding me? I got my kids in school, like my whole family's here. You think I'm gonna say yes to getting out of here? No, they're gonna have to kick me out. Not trading Kyle. That means Kyle's got to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go uproot my whole family and let's go coach in Chicago. What could go wrong? Let me turn over all my power that I have of building this roster and everything, and just let me get rid of it. No, 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 no. Who else would they get to replace him? Who else? Who's replacing John Lynch? Who's going to replace Chris Forster? Who's going to replace um, Chris Kosurik? Who's going to replace Johnny Holland? Who's going to replace Bobby Turner? Who's going to replace those guys? Who's going to replace Brian Greasy? You're firing all those guys. You're not like, well, we'll just get a new coach in here and we'll keep the rest of the. No, you're everyone gone. Don't make no sense. Imagine imagine being a coach and seeing Kyle Shanahan take a franchise to 2 Super Bowls. What is that? 4 NFC championships, and then gets fired the year after he took them to the Super Bowl. Who would want to be in that organization? Who Kyle Shanahan, in circles of NFL people who know what they're talking about, meaning other coaches, other general managers, ownership, all of those things, high levels, not content creators or media or fans, um, recognize Kyle's one of the best coaches in the league. So to move on from a coach who has had, for the most part, success building his own franchise in his likeness with his team, which again hasn't been perfect, but no one's perfect. And then be like, yeah, we fired that guy. Hey, you want to come coach for us? I swear you will have as many years as you need to get up to to retool this roster and win. And trust me, if you get us to the Super Bowl a couple times, we won't fire you. Like, so what are you supposed to do? Okay, you bring in a new coach and you have 3 years of 500 football, he's fired. And then who's coming in after that? Oh, yeah, Belichick went to college today. I thought it was I thought it was interesting at first, like, I'm like, Belichick in college seems like a bad fit until I heard him talk about it. He said it would be a pro program just in college, and then when you think about it, college is effectively a pro is now pro. They get paid. Like you're literally finding we're finding out that, oh, X player renegotiated his NI deal to remain with said team. You got to re-sign your current players. College is not college anymore. College is the pros. They get paid. They have contracts. They have agents. So it actually makes sense to bring someone from that environment into an environment that is adapting to that new style. You bring in a general manager and you run it like a pro program. It's just in college. It's the same like recruiting actually might work to his benefit because he's just gonna handle it like, how much do you need? He's just gonna handle it like free agency. It might actually be easier for Bill Belichick because it is about dollars and cents, and you're Bill Belichick, so you already got that built up credibility. So you're not like having to fight for recruiting, I think, in the sense like it used to be. Because now you just got to show them the money. You just got to pay. You just got to give them the NIL deal, and then you got to just have the facility, and you got to have the rock. Like, so I actually think it's going to work. At first, I didn't. I thought it was weird, but then I thought about it. And I was like, wait, he actually might. He actually might help reset the foundation of how college kind of teams are structured like pro programs because they are going through this transition of having to pay the athletes. Well, it actually makes sense to have someone in there who understands what it takes to pay people in free agency and what that looks like, because that's effectively what the transfer portal is. Transfer portal is basically free agency. Recruiting at a high school is now basically free agency. So I actually don't think it's a bad idea. He might have some success there. So we'll see how it goes. But definitely didn't think it's as crazy as I originally thought. And actually, if you're Bill, like that's actually kind of exciting, you know. Bill is the guy. Like he's running that whole program now. And um I don't know. I don't think it's a bad setup. He's probably getting paid well. So I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, I appreciate everyone for tapping in on this one. You guys got any score predictions before I want to get out of here? Score predictions for tomorrow. How confident are we feeling? Do we feel like the 49ers are going to win? Are we feeling nervous? Are we too nervous to give any score predictions? Don't want to jinx it. $30-23, 34-21, 34-24, 31-27, 30-17. I like that. I like that one. I like that one. Ray's feeling good. Wesley says we win. 33-20. Niners by a million. I asked Chat GPT like a day ago. I think it said 27-17. All right. All right. All right. All right. I like it. I like it. If we can put up 30 plus, I like our chances for sure. Well, I appreciate you, my guy. And shout out to all you guys. It feels like Friday, even though it's not. Um, okay. Okay. Shout out hubby. Is that me? That's me. That's me in Joy's profile picture. That's me. Shout out Joy. Shout out hubby. That's me. She so she didn't take the screenshot of my face and put it in the profile picture. She's like, "Nah, I'm going to flex on all y'all. I got a real picture with Brad and I'm going to make that my profile picture." That's fire. Congratulations, Joy. You win today. That's phenomenal. Fantastic. I love that. She's like, I'm not taking no screenshot. I got a picture with Brad. That's hilarious. That is absolutely fire. If we win, everyone's got to change their profile picture to my face. Deal. Oh man, I appreciate you guys, man. Grab all the cookies you want on the way out. You guys are the best. I'm out. Peace. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see